Shocking great news this afternoon as Mitch McConnell's under fire from the president to send out stimulus right now. But has Joe Biden spoken to Mitch? And what type of bill would go out? And why is Nancy Pelosi back under fire for doing much of nothing? But what is the Democratic position and what's the Republican position? Would Mitch McConnell get the stimulus out next week? And could there be a surprise last-minute stimulus relief for millions of Americans? This is the really great news, and it's breaking this afternoon. And this is Being a Mitch. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Being a Mitch with breaking developments about your stimulus by act of Congress. Shocking developments today after yesterday the president said send out stimulus. The channel viewers of this group say do it by executive orders. But Joe Biden allegedly has not even spoken to Mitch McConnell. So what's going on, and will there be stimulus relief coming next week? Answer, I believe that Mitch McConnell will do stimulus to save 2 seats in Georgia and do the stimulus right now. Let's get to the details. But first, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please do. Go to the first channel, subscribe, because no one's getting you through this pandemic with more information up to the minute by the hour than this channel. Also, like this video, it helps with the rankings. In this video, I'll be going over what's going on with Joe and Mitch. Next, what would Mitch do for you right now for stimulus relief? Second or third, what would Nancy Pelosi do when she wakes up and realizes millions of Americans need stimulus relief as well right away? Then, what are other Democrats saying about Nancy? And Ro Khanna, what is he saying about Nancy as the stimulus relief, what's going on right now? And where is Congress? Let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news as you sit here today is that Mitch McConnell really has to do a stimulus package right now, and so does Nancy Pelosi right now, because both of them are going to lose a Senate seat in Georgia. Not one, but 2. What's going on? There are two Senate seats in Georgia that are up for contention, or runoffs, as you would say, on January 5th. And millions of Americans are going to go into those polls on January 5th and look back to today and tomorrow wondering, did you do the stimulus package we needed then? Mitch McConnell's not stupid, nor is Nancy Pelosi. Neither side will win their seats of Georgia in January 5th if they don't pass a stimulus package right now. So there's a big push underway for Republicans and Democrats to get a stimulus package out right now, and not as broadly thought as originally as planned. Let me explain what's going on. Chuck Todd had the top member of the Biden transition team today on Meet the Press, NBC, and asked a very single question. He said, you know what? Millions of Americans need relief right now. I understand you want to do other relief. You want to do relief for state and local. You want to do other relief. But millions of Americans need relief right now. They can't wait another day. They need relief right now. What's wrong with taking Mitch McConnell's proposals right now? And the answer was non-responsive, but the question was categorically incredibly great, because finally broadcast news understands that unemployment benefits of $300 a week versus 0 is better than 0. Second, that another round of PPP is better than 0. Next, that the Republicans support the Problem Solvers bill. Why not do the Problem Solvers bill, which actually runs out in January, rather than wait around for 0? Now the push is underway. And it's an incredible new push that you've never seen before. And I got to tell you why this is great news. First, the dates. Second, the pressure. And third, Georgia. Let me go over why I think stimulus would go pass right now. First, in the dates, the Problem Solvers bill has provisions in there that gives you relief now, right now, gets you a stimulus check within 10 days right now, but the bill's provisions generally expire after or before Inauguration Day. So guess what? You do a bill right now for certain things, and then you take care of everything else after that under the Biden administration. Really, obviously clear. Second, The provisions of the Problem Solvers Bill give everyone that is a viewer of this channel exactly what they need. Stimulus check, unemployment benefits, EIDL, EIDL grant, EIDL loan, PPP. It gives everything that everyone wants right now. Next, you have Democrats and Republicans to support it. This is the old coverage of this channel from August and September, where the Blue Dog Democrats, the New Democrat coalitions, and now more Republicans than ever before support the Problem Solvers Bill. Additionally, the issue of bigger, bolder relief in January can be done then. Finally, Georgia. Giving a bill that's narrowly tailored, like the Problem Solvers Bill at $1.5 trillion or $1.4 trillion now, does not negate the ability to do a $3 or $4 or $5 or $6 trillion bill in January. You can do this one now, and you can do another one then. And that was Chuck Todd's question to the Biden camp. What's incredibly great news is that people now think that Nancy Pelosi is literally unhinged, that they don't think that she's really understanding the severity of the situation. Dates are expiring, and you can't wait a week, let alone a day, when you have no relief. Let me explain what Mitch McConnell's doing right now, and let me explain what Nancy Pelosi is not doing right now. Mitch McConnell's trying to give you $300 a week retroactively. $300 a week, which he offered you in what? July? He offered you $300 a week in July in a bill. Didn't just say it verbally, actually introduced a bill, $300 a week, July, August, September, October, November, December. The bill would have given you $300 a week from July to the end of the year. That's 6 months, 4 weeks in a month, 24 weeks in 24 weeks total at $300 a week. Guess how much money that is? That is about, it's about $8,000 that you would have had with unemployment benefits right now. Then you would have had another round of PPP. You would have had EIDL. You would have had other things right now. Temple Doom says no. Take zero and just wait around to January, and then we'll help you. That's not working, and it's not going to work for Georgia or anyone else with a brain cell, because people needed relief in July. They need relief now. And come December, there's 5 key dates. 1, UI is running out. 2, PUA is running out. 3, rent eviction moratorium, gone. 4, mortgage forbearance, gone. Can you imagine the Democratic position of Nancy Pelosi is have no unemployment, have no rent protection, have nothing, and just wait to January? That doesn't work. And that's why the push is underway. This is why you need to be very vocal and very loud, and this is why Mitch McConnell's, while narrowly tailored bill may look a little bit irrational, it works for us for now, for a month. Additionally, stimulus checks. I know you're going to ask about stimulus checks. This is what's categorically incredible. Mitch McConnell can do a repurposing of CARES Act 1 money as stimulus checks. It just needs a bill. It just needs another line in the bill. Let me explain what's going on. Mitch McConnell doesn't want to do a $2 trillion bill. You got that. You know why? Because he doesn't want the national debt to increase. Okay, we got that. We understand that's your position. We may not agree with you, but we understand that's your position. The Problem Solvers Bill is $1.5 trillion. Okay, what does Mitch want to do? He wants to do about $1 trillion or $900 billion. Okay, how do I get to it? In about 1 second. Let's do it together. We'll do it in about 1 second. The Problem Solvers Bill has 2 stimulus checks, one now and one in March. You don't need a stimulus check in March. You need 2 stimulus checks right now. What the hell's March? Those 2 stimulus checks are $1,200 each. They cost about $500 billion to send out $1,200 stimulus checks. Problem Solvers Bill, 1.5. Let's take out those 2 stimulus checks. So instead of 1.5, the Problem Solvers Bill is now $1 trillion. Surprise, we're exactly at Mitch's magic number, where he wants to be, about $1,900 billion. Well, where do we get the stimulus checks from? We get it from unused CARES Act 1 money. Mitch McConnell will categorically do this because CARES Act 1 money that is unused, that is sitting at SBA, that is $900 billion unused money, does not take another hit against the national debt. It's already taken the hit. It has already been taken out of Treasury. It has already been used for PPP. People didn't want it, so it sat there. It sat there at SBA. It's unused money. By repurposing it and sending it as a stimulus check, you would get a $5,000 stimulus check. $5,000. And it wouldn't cost Mitch McConnell a single dollar. It wouldn't cost the second stimulus package a single dollar. Now, for the first time ever in this channel today, in this recording, I'm going to say something which I've never said before. Remember that CARES Act 1 money that's $150 billion that I talk about as use or lose, that is currently in the hands of cities and counties, that goes back to the federal government. If they don't use it, they lose it, and is going back to the federal government in a couple weeks? You see what I'm getting at? Oh, yeah. You see what I'm getting at? That CARES Act 1 money, that's $150 billion that was given to cities and given to states to give to cities and counties to use or lose. Well, guess what? The lose is about to come up. The lose is about to come up, or has come up. I can't keep track of every single date on this channel, but it was around November, December. The lose date means the money goes back to the federal government. It goes back to the federal government. Guess where it can go back to you? More stimulus checks. Yes. If you were looking at Honolulu, for example, the city that had hundreds of millions and millions and millions of dollars, and billions of dollars that was given to them, never spent a single penny of it, was sort of rushing to send it out. That's sort of an example. All these cities and counties have to return the money by federal law if they don't use it. And there's a lot of money that is not being used. That's how we get this done. Finally, if you're on social media and you have Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, you need to tag these people, because ultimately the important thing is to get the message out very loud and clear. Get this sent out. What would Joe and Mitch agree to? Well, today we were learning from when the number one or number two people in the Biden potential administration said that Joe Biden has never picked up the phone to call Mitch McConnell to discuss stimulus. Excuse me? This is categorically insane. What are you talking about? Why is Mitch McConnell and Joe Biden not talking about anything? And that person then said, well, Nancy Pelosi needs to negotiate with Steve Mnuchin. Steve Mnuchin is not negotiating with anyone. He's no longer in the picture. Mitch McConnell is the chief negotiator for the Republicans. No one is talking to anyone, and no one is speaking to anyone. And that's where people get a little frustrated with federal government, because you need to start talking. But if they did pick up the phone, what they need to, and you need to go on social media and tag or retweet my tweet. You'll see my tweet. You'll see my tweet. It was to Transition 46 and Joe and Mitch saying, why aren't you talking? You need to start talking right now. They would agree to enhance unemployment benefits for a few weeks at even a lower number. Not to say that they won't go to a higher number thereafter. They would agree to some hazard pay. They would agree to some stimulus checks. They would agree to some liability insurance. They would agree to some lobster stuff. And they could get it out right now. So get it done right now. No one in their right minds would ever think that in the middle of the pandemic, where there's 175,000 COVID-19 cases per day, new COVID-19 cases, heading to 250,000 per day, that there's literally zero stimulus package in place. And that the eviction moratorium about to expire, mortgage forbearance about to expire, and rent aid about to expire. It's just can't go on any longer. And that's why you have to push, push, push. Ultimately, there's a lot of focus on this channel, and I'm getting you money that's available right now. I'm getting you money that's available shortly thereafter, and then we're focusing on Congress to get their act together, and that's the subject of this channel, of this video. This video is to go over what Congress is not doing and what they should be doing right this minute. If you've not subscribed, please go to the front of the channel, subscribe, because we're going to get through this pandemic together. Also like this video. Coming up next is more about the breaking developments that's unfolding today about your stimulus. I don't want you to miss anything by the minute, and there's a lot of things changing. What's important to understand is that there's so much money available for you right this minute. On Purple Power Live at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will go over how you can get not one, not two, but 3 types of different monies right now. That has nothing to do with Mitch McConnell, nothing to do with Joe, nothing to do with Nancy Pelosi. Then I'll be going over hazard pay and things that are coming up that you should get ready to apply for shortly thereafter. Finally, it's important to understand that next week is going to be very loud and boisterous. Not for me, but for those members of Congress. What I want you to understand is that people are trying to grandstand, and you understand when grandstand doesn't work. An example of grandstanding started on Friday when Nancy Pelosi talked about, I think I'm going to go back to my $3.4 trillion bill. Well, guess what? Between now and January 25th, no one's going to do your $3.4 trillion bill. They didn't do it for 7 months. They're not going to do it now. So you can say whatever you want to say, but that doesn't work. Second, the fact that she wants to go to a $3.4 trillion bill that doesn't have 80% of what Joe Biden wants to give you in it is sort of ridiculous. Joe Biden wants to give you $2,400 of emergency relief for SSI and SSDI recipients. She doesn't have it in there. He wants to give you hazard pay. She doesn't have it in there. So many things that he wants to give you, she took out, and they're not in there. What she does want to give you, is a $500 stimulus check. This is why you have to push, because ultimately there's a lot of fake narratives, and they're going to get very loud next week. Coming up next is a lot more. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay about life for more.